Power Rangers. For 20 years, this live-action television series has become a staple in American entertainment, merchandising, and pop culture.
The constant presence of Power Rangers is something that's transformed it into an icon that almost anyone, young or old, can recognize. But the true origin of the Power Rangers doesn't begin here.
It begins in Japan, with the Super Sentai series and a man named Shotaro Ishinomori.
Shotaro Ishinomori, born Shotaro Onodera in 1938 in the town of Ishinomori, Nakaracho, Tomegun, Miyagi Prefecture of Japan, was the second oldest of 5 children. From as early as his days in middle school, he began making manga compilations, and not long after found himself entering several manga magazine competitions. This would pay off in 1953 when he received a telegram requesting his help with work from none other than the legendary Osamu Tezuka, creator of many characters such as Tetsuwan Atom and Jungle Emperor, or better known here in America as Astro Boy and Kimba the White Lion. Ishinomori's diverse and voluminous manga career would begin as one of Tezuka's art assistants on Tezuka's Tetsuwan Atom manga. It was in 1955 that Ishinomori would begin to establish a legacy of his own, when he debuted his first official published manga, Second Class Angel. But it wasn't until 1963 when Ishinomori really hit his stride, when he created his popular and long-running manga series entitled Cyborg 009. That same year, he would also establish an animation production company with his colleague Shinichi Suzuki, called Studio Zero. Cyborg 009 is a series about 9 individuals who are kidnapped by the evil Black Ghost organization and then turned into cyborgs. This change grants each of them superhuman abilities. Together, they battle the Black Ghost organization in order to destroy them. The popularity of Cyborg 009 would lead it to be serialized in several different manga publications over many years, as well as being adapted into animated series and movies.
The concept of a superpowered hero fighting an evil organization or secret societies, that's a template that Ishinomori would use on most of his future works. His creativity was not limited to manga or animations, and people would soon come to find this out.
Attempting to try something with a much darker tone, in 1970, Ishinomori created the character of Skullman as a one-shot manga story with the intention of eventually making it into a live-action TV show for kids. The manga proved to be a hit as it sold more than 1.5 million copies. However, the idea for Skullman as a TV show was rejected by TV executives, who found it to be much too dark and morbid for children. Skullman is the story of a young man born with special abilities, who is out to get revenge for the murder of his parents and will do whatever is necessary to achieve this goal, including, but not limited, to killing innocent people in the process. Although Skullman was rejected, the following year Ishinomori would revise Skullman into what would arguably become his most famous creation.
Kamen Rider, or Masked Rider.
The creation of Kamen Rider is what truly helped solidify Ishinomori's place as an influential figure and contributor to Japanese pop culture and entertainment. Also, with the introduction of Kamen Rider, Ishinomori popularized the word Henshin to describe his hero's change in appearance.
Henshin is the Japanese word for transformation, transform, or simply change body. Produced by Toei Company Limited, Kamen Rider made its debut on Japanese television in April of 1971. A manga adaptation of Kamen Rider would also be released around the same time. However, it would be the live-action TV series that would really popularize Kamen Rider and make it one of the most iconic and longest running Henshin hero franchises in Japan. In a Henshin hero show, the main character is generally the one that transforms into a superpowered hero, with a phrase, gesture, or device which is usually accompanied by a pose before, during, or after his or her transformation.
The story of Kamen Rider begins with young college student and motorcyclist Takeshi Hango. After running into a suspicious motorcycle gang, Takeshi is kidnapped and is unwillingly turned into a cyborg. This gang, as we come to discover, is part of an evil organization called Shocker. Before he can be brainwashed to do Shocker's bidding, Takeshi escapes, using his new powers and motorcycle to henshin into Kamen Rider and wage his crusade against the evil organization. In an interview, Ishinomori would go on to say, "Both with Skullman and Kamen Rider, I tried to create a new kind of horror story, a scary work that you could still show to children. Although I thought, first off, I want to scare them when I wrote it, so it's incredibly dark." Although it wasn't the first show of its kind, Kamen Rider redefined and set a new standard for live-action superhero shows. And over the next couple of years, Ishinomori would create more memorable heroes for Japanese television, including Android Kikator, a tribute to his mentors Tetsuwan Atom, and Inazuman. In Android Kikator, a scientist along with his children are being held hostage by the Dark Organization and forced to work for them.
It's always an evil organization. Haven't you ever seen G.I. Joe and Thundercats?
Actually, the Thundercats fought against the demonic mummy and his evil mutant henchmen, not an evil organization.
I didn't say Thundercats.
Yeah, you did. You said G.I. Joe, and then you said Thundercats. No, it's okay. It's not a mistake. It's a slip of the tongue. Because if you really think about it, Mumra and his henchmen... Where are you going? Where are you going? He said Thundercats. Jeez.
In order to save his children, the scientist creates an android named Jiro to rescue and protect them from Dark. When the going gets tough, Jiro is able to use his change circuit to transform into the super-powered Kikator. Inazuman is the story of a young college student that is born a mutant. After living through a childhood of several personal tragedies, the young man decides to use his mutant abilities to fight for humankind against the Neo-Human Empire and its Phantom Army, as he summons his mighty power to initiate his transformation into Tsunagi Man and then Inazuman. Ishinomori's body of work can be defined as a constant and reoccurring obsession that was refined and reimagined into everything he produced and eventually incorporated itself as a fundamental pattern of modern Japanese science fiction. With the way now paved, Ishinomori would combine elements of Cyborg 009 and Kamen Rider to create the first Super Sentai, Himitsu Sentai Go Ranger, or Secret Squadron 5 Ranger.
Hey, Toy Bounty Hunters TV, it's Hector David Jr. here from Power Ranger Samurai. Check him out. Much love. Take it easy.